God damn it. Hello.
Again.
God damn it.
Well, not again to them.
No, but again to us.
Well, again to them, because this is about the 29th goddammit hello.
I fucked up, guys.
It's not only your fault, though, because my audio got fucked up,
Yeah, there were a lot of technical difficulties.
And I'm glad that they all happened at the same time, as opposed to in different podcasts.
I'm just a little bummed that they happened all on this show. For our 29th episode, they released some really exciting Spider-Man news that I'm not going to get into right now because Jeremy and Brittany will kill me.
Shocker, we talked about Spider-Man on this podcast.
Exciting is an interesting word to use.
It is exciting. It's exciting because of the implication.
It is some game-changing Spider-Man news, but...
I thought you were going to say it is some gay shit.
All right. God damn it, hello.
God damn it, hello.
If you haven't concluded yet, I forgot to hit record, and we recorded for about 40 minutes.
This is
which
take
is almost
two.
a full episode.
Right, but at the same time, my audio, for whatever reason, was stopping and going the whole time, and I didn't know.
Yeah, we all
Is
pressed the record button at around the same time, and then 45 minutes later, Brittany's audio had only recorded for about 20 minutes.
Yep. And
That's
I go,
not her fault. I gave her an old computer to record on.
And my response was, have we only been talking for 20 minutes? And to be totally honest, it could have been because I totally tuned out when you guys talked about Spider-Man. So, sorry.
I had a very nicely prepared segment. I had lots of clips. It would have been one of the best prepared videos yet. About something I was excited to talk about, but
You know what it is? Do you know really why that happened? It was a cursed episode because we talked about Morbius.
Oh my god!
Oh shit!
Well, as you know, we can never talk about Morbius on the show just because there isn't enough time.
No, things just start happening. It is a paranormal event.
Right. Well, because once we run out of time, the ghosts get angry.
Yes.
The vampire gets angry, as it were.
Question for you, Jeremy, just because it came into my head. At the beginning of every podcast, am I laughing? Because I feel like I'm always laughing in the beginning of the podcast.
Not a trend I noticed.
Guys, it's been a rough Monday here at the Ricketts Spear household.
Excuse you?
With Spear Ricketts
Thank
household
you.
with Jeremy. Jeremy's here too.
Hey guys.
Spear Ricketts Kessler.
No, Jeremy doesn't. His
I wouldn't
name's
call
not
this
on the lease.
Coalition.
Well,
Okay.
What's a coalition?
It's an elition that you
Own with Jeremy.
Cone.
So this is what happens when you try to talk about fucking Morbius on the show. I had a very well prepared show. I forgot to hit record. Should never happen to me. That's quite literally all my job is just you
get
record
paid
this
to
video.
hit record.
By whom?
I'm a regular Joseph Gordon-Levitt out here.
By Anchor, I guess. We've gotten paid $4 by Anchor.
Well,
Yes, thank you, Anchor.
It is also my day job.
That's true. The day job.
Yeah, I fucked up, guys. I got nothing to say. But I won't talk about Spider-Man on this show because it wasn't a hit. But I will. You know, we may as well do the plugs right now, Jeremy.
May as well.
I will be posting the entire Spider-Man conversation with some new visuals. What are you doing?
I just wanted to remind you to talk about your hat.
Oh, yeah, I got to talk about my hat in a minute.
Spider-Man conversation. I don't know why it reminded me of the Republican papers.
Dude, what is happening? No, we don't want the Republican papers on this. That's part of the problem.
I know. I'm just saying the way you just said the Spider-Man conversation.
All right, kids. One at a time. Here we go. The Spider-Man video will be released on the YouTube channel, probably with some clip art over it. Let's be real. I'm going to try to animate some crude visuals on it. But all the clips that I was going to pull will be in there. And, you know, that'll probably be a good video. I'll post it up. It'll probably be like 4 minutes. Go listen to it if you're interested.
If you are only here to listen to me, then probably don't watch it because I won't be on it.
Okay. I got to say real quick off the bat, also before we get into plugs, thank you for reminding me. You'll notice I have this red hat on, and I need to point out
Vans.
It's a Vans hat.
Dark red Vans hat.
I wore it last time on the show. I understand if anybody mistook it. It's not a MAGA hat. I do not own a MAGA hat. I don't like this show to get political, but I'm not a MAGA boy. It's not a MAGA hat, and I would never wear a MAGA hat on this show.
And I feel bad because I bought that hat for him, and I mean, like, I guess this just goes to show, like, how little I care, like, about, like, what is happening.
Politics,
yeah. Because it didn't even occur to me.
Well, it really is kind of upsetting that it's become such a hate symbol.
I don't think that's anything on you for not thinking about it, because I will repeat this sentiment. It looks fucking nothing like a MAGA hat.
I also agree with that.
But if somebody mistook it,
of course, and
I'm sorry if you thought, but it's not. And I would never do that.
We just really like Vans, and they were having a dope sale before we went to Colorado.
The Vans outlet by this house. First of all, red is my favorite color.
Yes, it is.
And I saw it. It's a red hat. It's got the same structure of hat that I like. I'm trying to become, in the last year, I'm trying to become a hat guy, because soon enough I'll be a bald guy.
It's true.
It is true.
So hopefully nobody notices if I'm a hat guy too.
And hats look so cute on you. I mean, this one does look a little bit like a train conductor hat for whatever reason. It's like
the top of the hat itself
we have to we have to smash it down a little bit.
You know what it is? It's because the first week that I had this hat, I didn't take the cardboard out, and it kind of formed that way.
Beautiful.
We got to crush it a little.
I want you to wear the lime green one that I bought, because that one's really cool looking.
Yeah, I got to have a good outfit to wear that.
Yeah,
one,
you're right.
You know.
Yeah. So anyway, as Oliver is getting into, we live not far from the outlets now, and I tend to go there for a lot of my shopping because it's just as close as going to a mall, except it's an outlet and it's much cheaper. And the Vans over by us was having this really crazy sale before we went to Colorado. And all of the stuff in there was either buy one, get one half off or buy one, get one free. I don't know if you could see behind Jeremy, but there's a Vans backpack there that I got that was $5, but then I actually got it for free.
Jeremy, move your head. I can only see the Kirill one. No, I can't see it.
Damn it. Anyway.
Jeremy, just grab the backpack. This nice Irish green backpack.
Yes, no, okay, so I bought this backpack, and it was only $5, and I honestly should have bought more, and everybody should have just gotten them for Christmas, but...
And everybody knows that I'm big into, my Irish roots and culture, and this is a very nice shade of green that reminds me of Ireland, and great deal.
And we are not sponsored by Vans.
Check out. No, we're not sponsored by Vans. I'm just telling you. I'm just trying to tell you guys about some deals that I know about.
Yeah, I'm a bargain shopper, so that's all I do is look for deals.
Also, Linda Feingold back there made a dope backpack or something. Shit, what happened? This one's a mess, guys, huh? No, but that black backpack there, Jeremy. That black backpack right there. By Linda Feingold. It's a backpack that has a message that I really believe in. It says college is a scam. If anybody didn't know, I didn't go to college because it's a scam to get you into a lot of debt, unless you want to be like a doctor or a teacher, in which case more power to you. Go to college.
Thanks, babe.
But that particular backpack was only $5. Oh boy.
$5. It can be yours.
Nope, it can't. It's mine now. The zipper did break the first week that I had it, though. Anyway, plugs. Those, again,
were not plugs.
Well, Vans is an official sponsor of the goddamn.
You can't say things like that. They're not sponsoring us.
They're not a sponsor. But
maybe they will sponsor us.
Sponsor me, you bastards.
Yes, that'll get into it.
That'll do it. All right. Anyway, plugs. Let's do them. Jeremy.
Yeah, Oliver.
You got the hot seat this week. Are you ready? You ready for it? Jeremy, did you know that it is incredibly easy to listen to this podcast wherever you go?
How easy could it possibly be to listen to this
podcast? Where do you usually listen to your podcasts? Brittany didn't know it was easy either. All right, Brittany, did you know it was really easy to listen to this podcast on the go?
No.
Oh, where do you listen to your...
How easy is it?
I know, because every day Brittany wakes up and says, I cannot wait to listen on Spotify to the podcast of my choice.
I do say that every day. He's not lying.
And I say, oh, check out the Goddamn It Hello podcast. You're on it. You know it.
Brittany says, I know I'm on it. It's
know,
not
why?
funny. I don't want to listen to it.
Except I make you believe it's funny because every beginning of episode I am laughing for no reason.
The one episode. Well, Jeremy interrupted by going like this. But
Doing like the blood sign.
No, I was
oh, he's talking about my hat.
Oh,
hat.
My hat.
I was
But
like
anyways,
tipping my hat. I don't. Whatever.
Dude, okay,
Have we
listen
talked
to the
about anything
podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Also, there's a multi-format, multi-camera format version of the show on YouTube. You can get it anywhere that there are podcasts, except for SoundCloud. Jeremy, stop asking. It's not on SoundCloud.
Have we talked about anything yet?
Also, Brittany's got some cool designs that I was supposed to show last show. Mm-hmm. But we didn't have him, and now I got him. So let's throw him up and tell me a little bit about the designs before we hop into the show.
Yeah, sure. Just tell me which one you're looking at.
I got the moon up here.
Yeah, the moon is like kind of like a working logo, possibly. I need to totally establish a name. I don't have one yet, but when I do, I will let you know. Hopefully by the next podcast. But yeah, I draw and Procreate, and I really have been enjoying it. I've only been doing it for about a month now.
Not an ad for Procreate.
Not an ad for Procreate. I just really like the app. And yeah, which ones are you looking at now?
We just saw Gabriella on the Italy stamp.
Yep.
And there's the fox again.
I can draw people as long as they're not super detailed. And I am getting better at a lot of things. But if anybody needs anything from me or just wants me to practice, let me know.
And they really are, just it's taking shape. You're developing your own style, and it's very exciting. And I'm excited for it. So we wanted to plug that and be on the lookout for it. Once stickers and prints are available, we'll put a link.
Yeah.
And it'll be good.
And it's nice because I am unfortunately unemployed due to the shit that's going on in the world right now. And at least it gives me time to kind of hone in on some of my creative things that I normally wouldn't have time for. So it is there is a silver lining, I suppose. And my art, if you want to call it that, is it.
I'm excited about it.
Thanks, honey. I appreciate that.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Are you excited about my art, Jeremy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm very excited for you to explore creatively things. That was nothing. That was not a sentence.
It was kind of a sentence.
But I think you know what I meant.
I do. I get it. Thank you.
You know what?
The support from the two of you actually does really mean a lot to me.
Well, we're very excited about it.
I have a door in my room to like a cabinet that I put stickers on, and I put the cat sticker that you gave me as like the centerpiece of it. I have a picture of it. I could show
Yeah,
it to you.
please do. I'd love to see it. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's good. It's good shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's ready for the bad segue?
Yeah.
You know what's not good shit?
What?
You guys remember the live action Lion King last year?
Ugh.
Which
I
want to say real quick. That's one of those videos that we made where I'm like, I was not expecting the feedback that we got on it, namely negative. Because that one, when we put that review up, we just said that the movie was not very good, and we started the review by saying we all love the animated Lion King.
Yeah, I haven't watched that video in a long time.
But the thing is, we're not the only people who have said these
apparently
things.
not, but apparently in our niche, anybody who saw that Facebook ad on Facebook was like, oh, these people didn't like it because it was a kid's movie. It's like, how could I have not liked it because it was a kid's movie if I liked the original Lion King, which is a kid's movie and the same movie?
My favorite movies are kids' movies.
I agree. I think some of my favorite movies are kids' movies too. I think that the problem with the Lion King remake, because it wasn't even a reboot, it was a total remake. It was just made with different animation.
And it was not a live action Lion King either, to get that out of the way. There was one live action shot of a sun in the movie.
Right.
That was it.
And I just feel like if you're going to remake the movie, I don't know, just do something else or just don't. I don't really know what to say. I didn't think it was anything spectacular.
Well, and the biggest issue that we had was, well, what was the point? And Disney is currently, it's no secret, they're struggling just like everybody else. They just laid off, I believe,
28,000 employees.
28,000 employees, which is just such a stark, insane number when they were pumping out billion-dollar films. They made $10 billion films last year. That's wild, how bad things have gotten, And I have to believe that this announcement is part of that, but they're coming out with a Lion King 2, not an animated Lion King 2, but the Lion King that we saw last year. Now, what is interesting about this news...
Is it a remake of The Lion King 2?
Yeah,
or is it a new sequel?
Are Kiara and Kovu
sequel?
going to be in
No.
it?
Here it
Well,
is.
what the fuck?
It's an original movie. Not anything that we've seen before, but done with the models from The Lion King.
Do you know what that sounds like to me? That
Fan
sounds
fiction?
like, yes, one. And two, that sounds like, hey, we spent a lot of money making
On
this
these models.
shit. So let's just use what we have and pump out some more shit.
That's 100% what it is. And I'm almost a little confused because Lion King, Simba's Pride, it's called, right? Lion King 2. It wasn't like a moneymaker for them by any stretch of the imagination. And it was somewhat poorly received, but I think part of that was because it was a straight to VHS Disney movie, and that was just the impression of those movies at the time. But I feel like this generation even kind of likes that movie. Not as much as The Lion King, obviously.
I like it.
Right.
I also really like The Little Mermaid too, and I also really like the Christmas Beauty and the Beast.
I've never seen the Christmas Beauty and the Beast, but I hear it's
good.
wild.
I don't really know if I've ever seen any of the direct to home Disney movies.
There's also a second. There's 3 Aladdins.
I knew that. Yes.
There's either 2 or 3 Pocahontases, which gets a little wild. That story.
How many times are they going to take the Indians away?
No, it's not that.
Well-
they
well-
literally turned Pocahontas into a colonizer at one point in time. Yeah.
Oh, that's a little tone deaf.
Yep.
I guess the first Pocahontas is a little tone deaf now, maybe just a little, but I guess it's a sad story though.
Yeah.
No comment.
There's 2 Little Mermaids. I like the second Little Mermaid actually
the
a
second
lot.
Little Mermaid, too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else.
There's the other Lady and the Tramp, which I think is pretty bad.
That's there's multiple Dalmatian movies.
Yes, there's a lot of these movies is the point. And yeah, we know that.
But as far as source material goes...
Jesus Christ, Jeremy. Okay. My God.
I just we're trying, our goal is to entertain, and we could sit here for 5 minutes listing all the movies we could think of. And
all right, Jeremy, let's do that. How many movies do you know?
Me? Are you asking me?
Yeah, how many movies do you know?
I know Spider-Man 1. I know Spider-Man 2. They made a Spider-Man 3 as well. Anyway, you had a point to make about Lion King?
The point is, I don't know if they would do better to do a fully original movie or to remake the straight to DVD or the straight to VHS Lion King. Or, because, I don't understand why it has to be this shit, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it's, they made the investment, like you said, they made the investment to make these character models. It's probably going to be cheaper to do a second run at a CG Lion King movie than it was the first one. And just for that reason, model building alone. And Disney can do no wrong. They release something and it's a success, Sorry, Disney can do no wrong. I didn't mean that literally. I meant financially.
I guess as bad as people say The Lion King is, a lot of people went to go see it. It made $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying. Disney can do no wrong. Financially. So they might as well make something with this and make a bunch of money.
So the question is, Lion King 2 comes out. We almost did see Lion King 1. do you guys think you would go see another live action Lion King? No, even if it's because the biggest complaint we had was that it wasn't its own thing. It was just the same shit again, but worse. And I get that the designs are worse because you still have that like soulless look on them. What if they come out with this trailer though that's like, oh, I want to see what happens?
I really don't have a lot of faith in them creating a story that would be something I'd want to see with this new animation.
True. And then it's like things like, I mean, Nathan Lane was Timon forever, like since the 90s, you know. And now I guess just who did it in the new one? Billy Eichner?
Billy Eichner. And then Seth
so,
Rogen.
I mean, like, is Billy Eichner just now Timon? Like,
well, that's like kind of what I was thinking about is, okay, it's going to be cheaper for them animation wise, but they're still going to have to pay actors to, and like people like Beyonce are not cheap, you know, obviously right. She's probably one of the highest paid people in the planet right now.
I mean, I'm sure the money's going to be there with the movie itself because it was $1 billion film the first time. There's no reason to think you wouldn't make at least a decent amount. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the scale as the first one though.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're going to do with it that would really drive a lot of people to be like, yeah, I have to go see that. I don't know.
Because even like the people, I mean, we were right about this one too. Because even the people that were like, oh, I want to go see the new Lion King, even they like walked out of it like, oh, fuck the new Lion King.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what was the surprise there? You know?
I don't know
either. I mean, we still haven't seen Mulan.
Well, I'm not going to see Mulan until they back off of their bullshit there.
I mean, I paid for 3 years of Disney Plus. I should be able to see a Disney movie without paying $30 more.
It would be one thing if you could get the movie for $30 outside of, like, if you are not a Disney Plus subscriber, okay, pay $30. And then the subscribers,
is an absurd amount. $30
it is still too much.
$30 is buy a DVD, not rent a movie to watch.
Own the movie. Well, that's the same thing they did with King of Staten Island when we wanted to watch that. And
we refused to watch it until we could own it.
Right, because to watch it one time on Amazon was $25.
That's a ridiculous amount of money. Movie tickets are expensive here, and that's a ridiculous amount of money to watch a movie one time.
Remember when we had Julian on this show and we told him that movie tickets on average cost about $20 to go to the movies here?
Yeah.
And that like blew him away.
Yeah.
You know, so that should like put into context because he's from Texas.
Yeah, but it's not $20 unless it's like IMAX.
Well, but on average, if you go to the movies, you spend about $20.
The $20 one, when we go to that theater in Queens, it was like $20 a ticket.
Yeah.
Right. So it can be anywhere from like what, like $14 to $20.
To I guess 20 would be very high.
And that would be here where it is expensive to go to the movies.
Yeah, I think it was like less than $10, Julian's. I don't remember.
Well, when we were in Colorado, it was $10.50 to go to the Alamo Draft House to see a movie.
And he's in Texas. He has the Alamo Draft House right there, and I know for a fact that he goes to it.
Right.
You know, but he thought that was crazy. Now it's wild to me that people, because not everybody lives in New York, and like I feel like New Yorkers maybe can like be like, all right, $30 for a movie. I got to take my kids there and whatever, but like. Most people, it's nowhere near that much money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you're trying to rationalize it by saying, oh, well, if you were going to go to the movies and take your wife and 2 kids or whatever, it would cost you upwards of $40, depending on where you are, to go. But the thing is, going to the movies and seeing in a movie theater at a bigger screen with, digital, audio and all that stuff is an experience. For me to sit in my living room and watch a movie and pay $30 for it is absolutely
when
ridiculous.
I could watch literally anything else for free.
Right. Watch the original Mulan.
Yeah.
For free on Disney Plus because I'm already a subscriber.
From what I've heard, a much better movie.
Yeah, I also heard terrible things
I've heard very
about
bad
that.
things for sure. But like, and it's a little insulting to me to be like, oh, you already pay us this money to be on our service and we haven't put anything new on there in months.
Yeah.
Like they've had like one major title.
At least Mandalorian 2.
They had Clone Wars.
At least Mandalorian 2 is coming out soon. So
and Vision and Scarlet Witch, which looks WandaVision, which looks insanely awesome.
Love that.
I
so
still
looking
haven't
to
seen
that.
the trailer.
Ooh.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I would love to talk about it right now, but I don't have it set up that you can hear the sound.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem.
But oh man, that shit looks so good.
I'm excited for that. I didn't think I was going to be excited for it. I haven't even seen the second trailer, any trailer. I saw the teaser. Yeah,
you saw that Super Bowl cheeser. We talked about it on this show. But
Did you say Super Bowl cheeser?
He did say
the Super Bowl cheeser. Yes, when you have your snacks at the Super Bowl, you watch.
We had a Super Bowl party this year, didn't we?
Yes, and we had cheesy chip there.
We did have cheesy chip
The
that
Super Bowl cheeser.
That seems like a lifetime ago.
There was a Super Bowl this year?
Yeah.
In February when it normally is.
February 5th, I believe.
Y'all, I never know when the Super Bowl is.
We're not Super Bowl people, but any excuse for me to have a party.
Day. It's the weekend before the Oscars, isn't it?
It's like the first weekend in February, usually.
Yeah.
I think I watched the Super Bowl for the first time ever this year, too.
It was a boring game this year, apparently.
It was a boring game.
From what I hear, I don't really understand football, so I couldn't actually tell you.
They're all boring games to me.
They bring the ball from one side to the other.
But you gotta knock the guy down that's got the ball so he doesn't get it to the wrong side. If he gets it past a certain point, then they reset the number of times you're allowed to knock him down.
So you do understand football more than you're letting on.
Oliver was the one that said he didn't understand it. I was the one that said I think it's boring.
And you know what the thing is? People have always tried to explain to me. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Because the thing is,
and then I watch it and I'm just totally fucking lost.
Look like a guy that loves football. You're like a big, burly, bearded man. You look like a guy that would fucking love football. So I feel like everybody tries to get you to talk about football and other sports for that matter.
Yeah.
And it just always is just like,
all I know is that I love the Patriots because they cheat. And that's my favorite. I think that should be allowed. Honestly, if every team cheated, I would watch every sport because that's just interesting to me.
All sports are rigged, in my opinion.
I 100% agree. I don't think there's any
cheating is allowed
sport.
if you just don't get caught.
Right. Cheating is always allowed if you don't get caught.
Well, it's why the Patriots are allowed to win.
All laws are legal if you don't get arrested for them.
Right, and I'm
cutting that line out.
And everybody does illegal things all the time.
For instance,
that's not true. I don't do any illegal.
I do.
You don't do any illegal things?
I do not do any illegal. That is my official statement on the podcast.
Jeremy,
and I will not back down from it.
So Jeremy, we were getting ready for book club.
You always cross at the crosswalk? Always?
I like to cross the street very much in general, so.
But that's not answering my question.
Before in his life, he gets his mother to drive him across.
You were saying, Oliver?
Yeah, and I've only ever acquired movies by paying for them.
I mean, sometimes movies are gifted to me, so that's a weird statement to say.
Yeah.
I could say that I don't always pay for a movie. It's gifted to me.
This is a bad bit, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know. I'm the one that usually says we shouldn't talk about doing illegal things on here.
Going real quick to Scarlet Witch, just because you've only seen the Super Bowl, but that's how we got here.
WandaVision.
You've only seen the Super Bowl spot, but the WandaVision trailer looks so delightfully like mind-bending and like out there, like crazy shit. That's like not what we normally see from Marvel. And it's just like part of me is so excited because it's like you took I love Vision as a character. I'm not a big fan of which Olsen is it? Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. I just don't really like her portrayal that much. And the accent thing still bothers me, and I've always thought Vision kind of just got shafted for a lot of it.
I agree.
So two characters that I'm not very excited about, but suddenly like I'm so psyched for this series and that it looks so different than anything Marvel's done. For that, it's like worth subscribing to Disney Plus, period. It's just to see this show.
I think that part of that has to do with the fact that there's so much happening in the Avengers movies and so many other characters that people just care about more.
For sure.
That these characters they're background. They're secondary characters that people don't care enough about. So now that they're going to get their own spotlight and like you're actually going to get to see what they are supposed to be there for, that's interesting to me.
I think because like I've also said for a while, I think the Vision gets shafted. He's a character I really like, and he does not get any time to shine. The only time he gets to do anything worthwhile in the MCU is in
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron, which is not considered to be a very good movie.
It's not.
And so when I say that I'm excited for WandaVision, some people like don't understand that they're like, well, he's probably not going to do like a lot of cool fighting in that show. I'm like,
I think he's finally going to do something cool.
I'm like, but like, I feel like you misunderstand. I don't think characters are cool because I want to see them fight.
Well, and I agree with that too. Is that I feel like Vision, especially Vision in the comics, has so much going on with him and like the philosophy of like existence. And it looks like this show actually taps very closely into that theme. And I don't want to spoil anything in the trailer, but they talk about like, what is it to be alive? And am I still alive because you perceive me? And that sounds nuts.
Yeah. Super excited for it. Super excited for Vision to be cool.
You know what I am bummed about is that fucking Dune got bumped back to next year in like December.
That's fine. I'm reading the Dune book right now. It's taking me forever. I'm okay if they bump it back. I have more time to finish the book before the movie comes out.
How is the book?
It's taking me a very long time. It's like it's one of those fantasy. It's one of those sci-fi books that's like, it's just like there's a lot. You know? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a totally different world, and there's a lot to learn about that world to like fully get into it and fully like appreciate the things that are going on in a way, you know. And it's I picked it up. I haven't like really read anything in a while, and I think I'm not full. I wasn't like mentally prepared to immerse myself in such a wildly different world. And
See, like that's how I imagine like reading Tolkien or like reading the Game of Thrones books like would be, because it's not that I don't think I'd enjoy it, because I know that I would. I just really don't know if I have the like brain capacity to retain all of the information and like motivate myself to continue reading it.
I mean, I'll throw out there that like I'm not a very big fan of the Lord of the Rings movies. I think they're fine, but they're not rewatchable like everybody says. But I really love the way that Tolkien writes the story. But it is like you're saying, it's so like long-winded.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a completely in every way different world, and like you have to really be in the correct mindset to be able to immerse yourself and learn about the world to the degree that you have to engage with this story. And
but with Lord of the Rings, I will say reading The Hobbit definitely helps, because The Hobbit is written for children.
Yeah,
but
I did read The
that,
Hobbit, and I love that book.
It functions good as like a gateway, and then if you finish The Hobbit, you're like, oh, I love that. Oh, there's more, because there's fucking Lord of the Rings, you know. But The Hobbit is the best of the four books.
I'll say that Game of Thrones is kind of a different case, because I think that I guess the history of the world is different, but the world itself is like similar enough to things that like you kind of understand, that you can
like very
get
like
into it.
Renaissance era world or medieval world. Yeah.
And like the wildest things are like zombies and dragons, which you get. And the most wild stuff, it does really like kind of ease you into it, but there is the obstacle of like so many fucking people in that book, and there is a lot to keep track of in regards to like actual people and events happening. I would say that it is different in the way of like a world that you have to immerse yourself in than I would compare it to like I guess I've actually never read the Lord of the Rings books, so
I forget also, Jeremy, are you in the camp that believes that he's not going to finish the books?
Yeah, unfortunately he is an incredibly slow writer, as it shows, and he is, I hate to say things like this, but he is not a young guy, and he does not look, and he said in interviews, interviews that you ask about his health, would be like, yeah, fuck off. I'm like, you know what? Good for you, you know?
Right.
But he doesn't look like the healthiest guy. He's not
I
the
don't
youngest
think
guy.
George R.R. Martin is going to last that long.
I would not be surprised if he dies before he finishes the
He's
books.
in his 70s, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't imagine that he's living like a very active lifestyle, so, you know, I don't think he's going to do anything that puts him in danger except for, you know, cardiac arrest. Knock on wood, I don't want but
he's 72.
Yes.
But even so, like, I mean, he's had ample time to finish those books by now.
Yeah, now I want to know, and I'm going to look it up. A Dance with Dragons.
But my thing is, like...
There's apparently like a bunch of recent news stories having to do with George R.R. Martin and like
no.
his thoughts on the show.
I used to fall into a rabbit hole like every time you look up the release date for the next A Song of Ice and Fire book, there is an article from that day that says yep, we still don't know. I'm like, fucking great, thanks. Yeah, A Dance with Dragons was published in 2011.
I mean, first of all, George R.R. Martin's not wrong to think the end of the show was trash. Because here's the thing with Game of Thrones, like I feel like it was right up my alley, and I will never read the books because I know for a fact I'm not going to be satisfied because it's not going to finish. Unless like a relative of his later on decides, okay, I kind of know from his notes what's going to happen. Well, and even that is not like the original vision.
They've done things like authors have died during their series, and other authors have kind of like perused what they had been working on, and perused is the wrong word, but like seen what they've been working
leisurely.
on. Yeah, and finished the series for them, and maybe, you know, I don't know, man. I don't want to say it, but it's very upsetting. I don't know if he's gonna get to the end.
I think he's gonna pump one more out though. He's got two more left.
Yeah, I think Winds of Winter comes out. As of right now, it's Winds of Winter and Hope for Spring. I believe there is no hope for spring. I believe winter will be here forever. I think this will be the endless winter that they talk about.
Is this next one going to be called Fire Cannot Kill a Dragon?
No. The next one is The Winds of Winter.
So then why does this at the bottom of this article say Fire Cannot Kill the Dragon will be released Tuesday, October 6th and is currently available for pre-order? The fuck is that?
Is it a different book? Is he not? Maybe it's a non-Game of Thrones thing that he wrote?
Well, he does. He has written things inside the Game of Thrones universe. So, okay. Fire Cannot Kill a Dragon. Game of Thrones and the Untold Story of the Epic Series.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
So it's written by somebody else, kind of about the HBO series.
The show, yeah.
Well, the HBO series is another thing, because I've only ever seen the final season. And that left such a bad taste in my mouth that, like, I know the show is good otherwise, but I also know I will not get satisfaction by watching. Same reason I won't watch the Santa Clarita Diet. It's like everybody tells me I would love that show, but
I do feel like I am eventually going to end up watching it, and I'm going to get very disappointed.
And it's one of those things, like, I even think about things that I have seen that I love, like Daredevil. On Netflix, like I loved that show, and
show.
You know I used to text you every time I watched an episode. Like,
yeah,
that was such. And we watched the first episode together like 2 days after it came out. I loved that show all the way through, but it ends with a kind of open door, and then they canceled it, and so I can't go back to it again.
I think that's different. I think it's.
I think
that's a good enough series throughout, despite.
Right. Well, the only thing that doesn't get resolved is that end credits, because you can look at the last episode and say, like, well, that's the last episode.
Yeah.
It's just like, I know there were plans for more, you know, and upon revisiting, like, I haven't gone back, like, the way that I do to, say, like, The Sopranos or Breaking Bad or Rescue Me, which are my other favorite shows, because those all, like, maybe not perfect endings, but had endings that were intentional.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Why can't people just make good art?
It's a great question.
It seems like it's really hard. I hope we make good art.
I hope I make good art.
I like your art.
Thanks, hon.
I also like your art.
Thanks, Jar.
So they offered. There's a wooden poster that they have. It's a map.
They being Brittany and I in our house.
Yeah, it's a map of Tatooine, and it kind of points out where, kind of in relation to each other, events from the Star Wars movie that happen on Tatooine occur. It's like neat if you like Star Wars. I actually think it looks kind of nice. They were offering it to me because Brittany asked me if I liked Star Wars, and my response was that is a very loaded question.
As it is for any of us at this point. I used to love Star Wars.
I actually think I am of the unpopular opinion that I like more than half of these Star Wars movies.
I do too. It's just that I so strongly dislike that last one that I have a very bad Star Wars taste in my mouth. Bar The Mandalorian, I still love The Mandalorian.
Yes, more than half of the mainline Star Wars movies is what I meant. I just I can't have that in my house.
What do you mean, Jeremy? It's so nice.
I went to the eye doctor.
Please take it so it's not in our house.
I went to the eye doctor recently, and I love the eye doctor I go to. The people that work there are really nice. I only go there once a year. I went to the eye doctor
recently. I love the eye doctor.
No, I only go there once a year, and the people there definitely don't recognize
special treat
me.
For
but
me.
the people there are just really nice and pretend like they remember who you are in a way that
I don't know. It's
cute. It's just it's not. I don't know. They're just very nice people, and I like.
Can you please tell us how this contributes back to?
So
Star
I don't
Wars?
know how much has come across on the podcast because I haven't paid much attention to it, but I own a lot of Star Wars T-shirts, as Brittany and Oliver know. I'm not wearing one right now. I'm wearing a different T-shirt. This is designed by a friend of mine, Eggs McManus. I guess there's a plug.
Yeah, go check him out on Instagram. He makes a lot of cool stuff. And
fan.
his Instagram's a very cool thing to follow. A lot of cool art on there.
Yeah, he's a
I'll say
he's a
cool
cool guy.
one more time.
Say crack again.
Cool.
So I have not bought myself a Star Wars shirt, ever. People buy Star Wars shirts for me, and then people see that I own a lot of Star Wars shirts and assume Jeremy is a big Star Wars fan. Allow me to buy him more Star Wars things. So I own a lot of Star Wars things, and my sister, as a joke, knows this and knows that it's none of my choice. So she bought me a shirt that says "not a Star Wars shirt." It's kind of a thing.
But it is a Star Wars shirt.
Yeah. So I wore this to the eye doctor without thinking about it, and the doctor was like, "Oh, so you hate Star Wars?"
What's wrong with you?
And I was
you
like,
fucking hate the
no.
Jedi? Is that what this is about?
I so much didn't register why she was saying that to me.
You fucking Sith Lord.
I like that Jeremy didn't register. He just walks into the eye doctor.
No.
What do you hate Star Wars? The fuck?
I'm sitting in the chair. I'm waiting for her to. I've done some of the eye tests. I'm waiting for her to tell me the next things to do. And she's like, "So you don't like Star Wars, I guess?" And I'm like,
"You didn't read all of the words I just asked you to read were Star Wars, and you didn't get any of them."
And then I told her about. I realized I was like, "Oh," and I told her about the whole thing. And then we talked about Star Wars for a while. And then
I went called Jedi Care?
Oh, hey.
I went to the counter, and the girl behind the counter, who was like,
the girl behind the counter said, "I don't serve your kind here." Mm-hmm. Fucking prequel lover.
No, she was like, "Is this your only non-Star Wars shirt?" And I was like, "Oh, she gets it." And then I talked to Star Wars with her a lot, and I just I feel like I give off huge Star Wars fan energy. I love the Star Wars movies a lot.
Okay, well,
I know a lot about Star Wars. I own so many Star Wars clothing items.
Did you know? Own this Star Wars poster.
Did you know I own the screenplay to the original trilogy and also the prequels? Yeah, I own copies of the
you should get that
screenplay.
shit framed.
I own copies of the screenplay. Well, I do not have the screenplay for Episode 4. I instead have a bunch of storyboards for Episode 4.
Yeah, you should get that shit framed.
I have a screenplay for 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh.
I had all of these before the whole Disney thing happened, which is why I don't have the Disney ones.
Right.
That's actually not why I don't have the Disney ones. It's because I don't care.
Jeremy, it really sounds like you like Star Wars.
You love Star Wars.
No. I own these actually
Jeremy?
very cool blueprints for some of the copies of blueprints for the land speeder from Episode 4.
Tell us more about how much you love Star Wars.
I don't like Star Wars that much.
Are you sure?
Yeah. This huge realization has come crashing down on me.
Haven't you seen every Star Wars movie with me that... Oh, well, you didn't see
I missed
Force
Solo.
Awakens
I skipped
with us.
Solo.
Solo sucked.
Yeah, Solo was some dog shit.
The realization that I am a huge Star Wars fan came crashing down on me because I don't actually like Star Wars that much. I like it.
Wait, you are a huge Star Wars fan?
Apparently. Have you been listening to what I'm saying? I can't have that in my house.
If you look at this three-way shot of us right here, you look the most like a Star Wars fan.
I don't look like the most of the Star Wars fan.
You're holding Star Wars merch, and Jeremy still looks like a bigger Star Wars fan than you.
But that's what I'm I cannot like I like it and I think it looks cool. I can't have that on my house. I can't go deeper into this.
He has to be cut off from his addiction.
I can't go deeper into this. It's like...
We're cutting you off, Jeremy.
Jeremy, no more Star Wars.
Jeremy's going to be on My Strange Addiction, and it's just going to be Star Wars merch.
I don't like Star Wars that much.
I can't stop acquiring Star Wars merch.
I used to love Star Wars. Man.
I did do a whole Star Wars rant the other day to somebody, and I was like, fuck.
You did a whole Star Wars what?
Rant.
Oh, I thought you said rap.
I thought it said red, and I was like a table read?
No.
I sit down and I will read you the 4 scripts that I own from Star Wars.
Talk to us more about Star Wars, Jeremy.
I've been cooking up a Star Wars hot take.
How long does it take to cook up a hot take on Star? I'll give you one.
I think the words "hot take" imply that it's like a quick thought.
Like a good hot take on Star Wars. Ready? I got one. Last Jedi. That's a good movie. That's
Agreed.
a hot take.
It's not that hot of a take. My hot take currently is that I think the most worthless storyline in Star Wars is the fact that Luke and Leia are siblings.
Oh, I agreed 100,000%.
They only did that so that there was no love triangle.
Oh, that's 100%.
Is this not a hot take? Nobody talks about this.
And I said this. I said this on episode 2 of this podcast.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. I said because we were talking about how episode 9 people were, complaining and I didn't like episode 9, but it is something to say the original Star Wars trilogy is full of retcons the same way.
Oh,
in that it didn't start with Luke and Leia were not brother and sister at the beginning. You cannot convince me of that. And I'm pretty sure Darth Vader was not his father in the original, when the original movie came out. I think they came up with that later.
It does nothing for the plot. I think,
who fucking cares?
I think that the characters find out, and in the series, Luke and Leia interact one time in The Last Jedi after we find out.
Well, and it's also
it's the last time they interact.
Right. At that point, there's no reason for Luke and Leia to be romantically involved.
The only thing it does for the story is it makes Kylo Ren Darth Vader's grandson.
Who is an add-on to the story, to be clear.
But
best part of the add-on,
I still think
but an
that
add-on.
I still think that story could work. It makes it stronger, but I still think the story could work if he was just betrayed by Luke and was a fucking fanboy. They do nothing with the concept that Leia is Darth Vader's daughter. They do nothing with the fact that they're siblings. It's the worst and most useless plot point. I fucking hate it.
Well, and honestly, I feel like the big downfall for the later movies, 7, 8, 9, is the fact that they tried so hard to connect everything. And it's there's so much other story that can be told that is not connected and doesn't have to be. And that was the whole issue with Rey being a Palpatine and all this shit. She did not have to be anybody. It was more impactful for her to be nobody. Yet they couldn't just fucking leave it alone and make her nobody.
Well, stupid internet.
You know what the thing is?
Were my fan theory wasn't true.
I had a guy come up to me, somebody that I work for, who is a really big Star Wars fan, was talking to me about it the weekend the movie came out, because we were both sitting there just kind of I'm not really that excited, because I wasn't excited because I didn't think it looked very good, and he wasn't excited because he hated Last Jedi.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't good.
It was not good.
It's not good.
But this is before the movie came out, and we didn't know that. But I was talking about how I hoped they didn't do anything with Rey that would because I really liked her being a nobody.
I completely agree.
And he was saying, well, the point of Star Wars is kind of that everybody is tied to everybody else in some way or another. And I'm looking at him that is the opposite of the point of fucking Star Wars. The point of Star Wars is that you can be a nobody and fucking change everything. That because you have Han Solo on this huge redemption story from being a fucking loser scumbag to being the hero of the galaxy. You have Luke Skywalker, who is a real traditional dork nobody who goes to being the fucking savior of the universe. That's what the fucking thing's about. People with no connection to anybody. That's what it is. And it's about finding greatness in these unlikely places. But when you make everybody related to everybody, there are no unlikely places to find greatness anymore. Obviously, the people related to the other main characters are going to be important fucking characters.
And I think that's part of the reason why The Mandalorian is doing as well as it is, because you're not getting caught up in who's fucking related to who. You know what I mean?
I'm getting worried about that too.
I know, because now I'm starting to wonder are they going to make Baby Yoda? Like, how is that going to play out? You know,
Boba Fett is confirmed to appear in the series, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
They're also bringing in Ahsoka, which is like, I know that she's a fan favorite for people who have seen that show, but I like this being isolated,
its own thing,
and a thing that you can just kind of enjoy without any prior commitment to Star Wars.
Because you know what the worst part of The Mandalorian was when they went to the fucking cantina. That was the worst.
Sure, yeah, I don't remember that.
It's like the only connective. Oh, it was bad.
Oh, there's cantina.
Yeah. What? Nothing. No, it's like because he even sat in the same booth that Han Solo sat in.
We couldn't get a reservation there when we were in Galaxy's Edge.
Mandalorian was there.
Yeah,
he was working there. But yeah. Anyway, I don't like Star Wars anymore.
We did have a green milk smoothie though, or was it blue milk?
We had blue and green milk.
I thought we had the blue milk smoothie and the green milk bread pudding.
Whatever the blue one was, that was good. The green one, not so much.
It's also just like. So, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, has 2 children, and they say, we're going to send... Okay, so the daughter, we're going to hide from him, and we're going to send off with Bail Organa, and they're going to go to some random planet, and we're going to pretend that she's Leia Organa, and we're going to hide her from him, so, like, nothing happens. It's a big secret. She's basically hidden. But Luke keeps the last name... You can go hang out with Anakin's half-brother.
And Obi-Wan will live somewhere in the vicinity.
And you can go live... You can actually just go live on Anakin's home planet. That's totally fine. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, fuck this kid.
So, like...
Well, you know what's always bothered me? Just before we wrap things up here. In episode 3, after all the shit goes down, there's a scene where somebody says, okay, we gotta get the kids where they need to go. Wipe the protocol droid's memory. Meaning C-3PO.
Yeah.
You know whose memory doesn't get wiped is fucking R2-D2. Which I guess is because R2-D2, can't talk. But
People understand him.
does talk to C-3PO.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't R2-D2 be able to
people like
tell?
Poe can speak the droid language.
Right, but even because if you take the original purpose of C-3PO was that he translated R2-D2, you know?
Well, he translates like everything.
How do you not...
That's his original point.
How do you not fucking wipe his memory too? And how does he go forever and never say, oh, Luke, your father is Anakin Skywalker? Or, oh, Ben Kenobi, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I know that dude. That's always fucking bugged me.
And they also wiped C-3PO's memory again in 9, which is so
stupid.
Fucking
Stupid.
The dumbest shit in that movie is, well, C-3PO, he can't read. What? He can't read Sith Lord,
he
right?
Can't read Sith.
No.
His programming
won't allow him to actually
so why
translate
they program him to read it?
So they had to brute force past that restriction in his code, which
they did a factory reset.
Which, essentially gave him a factory reset.
Yeah, the first fake death of the movie.
Was that the first fake death of the movie?
No, Chewbacca goes before that.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know. I only saw the movie once and it sucked.
Yeah, I saw it twice. It sucked both times.
Did we see it twice?
No, I only saw it one time.
Here's the thing. I
refused to go again.
Here's
if you
the thing.
remember, I was really burned by it.
Yeah.
I've always been like, please keep me away from opinions about certain movies. I'd like to go in as raw as possible so nothing gets like kind of ruined for me in that way, because I find that can happen to me a lot. So I try not to do that with other people sometimes. And I saw it with you guys. I fucking hated it. And then my whole family was seeing it together. And they were like, well, if Jeremy liked the movie, he'll probably see it with us again. And I was like, you can't put it on me like that. Now I have to go see it again so that I'm not signaling to them like, this movie sucks. I won't see it with you again. So I had to go see it again with my family. Which, I liked hanging out with my family. So it was fine, but it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on that note,
how did we end up talking about Star Wars for 25 minutes?
We'll never not talk about
because
Star
I'm the
Wars
world's biggest Star Wars fan.
Yeah, take the fucking poster.
Jeremy, I can assure you. Jeremy, if you were going to take the poster, how would you end the podcast?
Good riddance to you.
Good riddance to you.
Good riddance to you.